There's something to be said of the NFL teams that can just get to the quarterback and stop the run. Yes, it all starts up front. It's all won in the trenches. All of the natural cliches that you come in when talking about defensive lines. And today we're giving you our top 5 D lines, projected top D lines, whatever, of 2023. And I'm excited because there's a couple of teams in here that I'm looking at like, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. And so first off, before I give you my top 5, I got to give you a couple of honorable mentions, mainly because I know what I'm going to get in the comment section. Like, how could you not put this team, in the top 10, in the top 5? Well, I could do a top 10, but I don't want to be here for 35 minutes. So I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. But at the end of the day, I feel like, there's a couple teams like the Carolina Panthers, Derek Brown, Brian Burns are two dudes that absolutely get after it. Yetur Gross-Matos is a guy that I thought, probably not even the correct pronunciation. He's a guy I thought was going to have a bigger impact, but maybe we can see what he's going to do moving on down the line. But, honestly, the Panthers defense has been pretty good for a while now and just hasn't gotten that kind of love. Of course, the Green Bay Packers, Preston Smith, and obviously Rashawn Gary, who I'm really excited about. Is this year 3, year 4? I can't quite remember, but had an injury last year. Before that, was playing like an all-pro. You got Kenny Clark in the middle, and then the list goes on. Like Tadarius Slayton, like the dude's just an absolute stud in the middle there as well. And yes, I think that this D-line for the Packers is going to be, top 10. I couldn't give them top 5 because I think there's a couple of different teams that are out there. Plus the Saints, Cam Jordan's been doing it forever now. Like the dude is just an absolute stud. And also just let us know in the comment section who I'm missing, because I know that there's a lot of good D-lines, and also let us know what you guys think about our top 5. So number 5, and I think this is going to start us off here. Yes, the New York Jets. So I have to put the New York Jets in the top 5 because I feel like there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. Number 1, how fast this team got way better under Robert Saleh. Yes, absolutely. So Quinnen Williams, he's the man in the middle. He's the man that controls it all. 12 sacks last year, all-pro, first team. You love it. 90.1 PFF grade, 55 total tackles last year. Yes, you absolutely love it. He's the dude in the middle. He is how it all kind of comes together. Then there's John Franklin Myers. Now, this guy does not get, he's underutilized and he is underpraised. This man had 38 tackles last year, 5 sacks, and an 82.6 PFF grade. Really needs a lot more credit because he is that dude on the edge for him. Plus, you got Jermaine Johnson, the third last year, coming up out of the draft. I think he's going to have a huge year too. Quentin Jefferson, he is a guy that does not get enough praise in what he does in the pass rush game. And then, yes, Carl Lawson had 7 sacks last year for him. And then you got Will McDonald that you just picked up in the first round this year. Yes, so the Jets are stacked. They've got a lot of young players, a lot of teams that really, they've come a long way. We really got to give them a lot of credit. And I do think that, yes, you've got Quinnen Williams on the inside. That's really going to be the man that demands a lot of attention. But I think he's a big reason as to why this team has really taken a huge step forward defensively as of late. Number 4, our defensive line. Yes, it's the Cleveland Browns. I feel like the Browns, getting Zadarius Smith when you already got these guys, it's not fair. So Myles Garrett, yes, he's that dude. 60 tackles last year, 16 sacks, and a 92.5 PFF grade. Yes, fine. He's an absolute dude. We understand all that. But then you bring in Dalvin Tomlinson from the Vikings and Zadarius Smith, by the way. Yes, 42 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 77.1 PF grade. He's constantly one of the best run defenders in the entire NFL, and he's a lot of fun. He absolutely gets it done overall, and I think he's just, plus he's really unheralded and underpraised in the passing game. He really gets after the pass rusher too. Also, Jordan Elliott, 36 tackles, a couple of sacks last year, gets it done on the inside. Zadarius Smith, like we mentioned, had 10 sacks for the Vikings. Like through the first 8 or 9 games of the year last year, he was playing like an all-pro. And yes, I think that now that he is going to be a little bit older and hopefully a little bit, can stay healthy, I still think he can get the job done and do a lot of different things. Also, defensive tackle Siaki Apuika coming up out of Baylor. Dude's a run stuffer. Dude's going to get after it. Yes, this D-line is stacked. I think you've got the edge rushing duo in Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith that I think is going to work out. I think that's really what the Browns, that's what I think they were trying to accomplish with Jadeveon Clowney. But it is what it is. This D-line is going to be legit, and I cannot be more excited. Number 3 defensive line in the NFL, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm not trying to, there's a couple different metrics we looked in with this. Number 1, keep punching my microphone. Number 1. One player cannot make this D-line great. Like this needs to be a stacked unit. There needs to be 5 or 6 guys, be 5 or 6 guys deep, excuse me. And I really feel like the Steelers, they just got dudes. This got absolute dudes. So you got T.J. Watt, who was injured for a large portion of the year last year. I believe it was a torn pec, if I'm not mistaken, but he still came back at the end of the season. Larry Ogunjobi, 48 tackles and a sack and a half last year. I thought he was going to be doing really well for the Bears last year before, obviously failing the physical. But the Steelers got themselves a steal, excuse me. Then, yes, you got rookie Keanu Benton, the defensive tackle coming up out of Wisconsin. He's going to be an absolute stud. He gets it after in the pass rush game. I think he's still going to develop quite a bit. And, yes, you love where he's coming from straight out of college. Cam Hayward, he's been doing it forever. This man's an absolute stud. He's like 34, still getting double-digit sacks every year. Not a lot you can say about him. He's a stud in the middle. Yeah, it's amazing. Also, Alex Highsmith does not get near the credit that this man deserves. 63 tackles last year, 14 and a half sacks. Really stepped up as being that, that premier pass rusher that the Steelers now have opposite of TJ Watt. So dude's an absolute stud. You love to see it. Now you got to take a look at the depth. So Armand Watts, the former Viking, had 5 sacks, 2 years ago for him. Had a sack last year for the Bears. And quite honestly, he just does not get enough praise. Really good pass rusher, is solid enough in the run game that if somebody goes down, he can step in and do his thing. So I think it's kind of a shame that this man did not get the respect that he deserved. And then yes, defensive end DeMarvin Leal. This dude was an absolute stud coming out of Texas A&M. So I think that he's going to quickly develop into being a guy that can play on the inside and outside and do quite a bit for you, and you love to see it. Nick Herbig, the rookie that you and then I forgot to put asterisks next to him because he's a rookie. Anyway, so Nick Herbig coming up out of Wisconsin, 47 tackles, 11 sacks, and an 84.7 PFF grade. He's going to have definitely an impact on this D-line. Like, they're just deep. And then Quincy Roche coming up from the Giants. Like, quite honestly, I felt like he was a guy that did not get the time of day, mainly because I don't think, the Giants, this specific front office did not draft him, so it is what it is, but that's an absolute steal. And I think that, quite honestly, the Steelers are heading in a very good direction here. I would be kind of shocked to see them not be one of the top D-lines in the NFL. Our number 2 D-line, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know this might come as a little bit of a shock considering the fact that, yeah, they got Nick Bosa. Dude's an absolute stud. But we got to be honest about this. So you've got Nick Bosa that had 51 tackles, 18 and a half sacks last year and a 90.9 PFF grade. But also you had Javon Hargrave, coming. They got 2 Javons. We'll get to that in a second. But Javon Hargrave coming over from the Eagles, 11 sacks last year. Dude's an absolute stud. Him and Eric Armstead in the middle when he's healthy. Oh my gosh, this is not fair. And then depth-wise, so Cleveland Farrell coming off the edge. I think he is best suited as a depth piece. Maybe they can still kind of scrounge a little bit of his career. Going to be a lot of fun. And then Kerry Hyder Jr., coming up. Going to be a really good depth piece. Javon Kinlaw was injured for a large portion of the year last year. Still can be that dude. I think he can be an absolute stud. And then Drake Jackson, the rookie coming up last year, 14 tackles and 3 sacks and a 64.1 PFF grade. I think he's going to have a huge year too, and I think he's going to be that guy on the other side of Nick Bosa that's going to absolutely get it done. So obviously the 49ers are going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I'm excited for him. But overall, I don't think that anybody can debate that the Philadelphia Eagles are the number 1 D-line in the NFL. Like, it's just this team, it's kind of unfair to kind of see what they did. Absolutely. So first off, you got Brandon Graham, who's been there doing the thing for forever. Now he had his best year last year with 11 sacks. I think that was schematics-wise. Like, they really did a good job of putting a lot of players in their best position to be successful, and it really showed. Obviously, they made it to the Super Bowl. Then you had defensive tackle Jordan Davis in year 2. Yes, 18 tackles and a 71.4 PFF grade. You love to see it. He's going to be a lot of fun. Also, Fletcher Cox, been doing it for a while. Yeah, he's that dude in the middle. 43 tackles last year and 7 sacks. Josh Sweat had 11 sacks last year. Like, they're just so deep. 48 total tackles as well. Hassan Reddick, 16 sacks and 49 tackles, And then, yes, you pick up these 2 studs in Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, both Georgia boys. Yes, I'll let all the jokes go out now. We absolutely get it. So you get all these guys. It's just absolutely unfair, quite honestly. And plus you also got Derek Barnett, too. Like, this is just such a very deep D-line room for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you saw it last year. That's how they won a huge position, or they mainly won on defense. They put pressure on the quarterback. They shut down the run. And it's hard to be able to play off of that. It's hard for any team to be able to really go against that and say that, this defensive line is not the absolute best in the NFL. Plus, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, going to be nasty for many years to come. So I think they got the best D-line in the NFL. Going to be really fun to see them really continue to get better and go from there. But that is it. That is our top 5 defenses in the NFL. Let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. And at the end of the day, let us know if we missed anybody. But again, leave us that like. That's what helps people find the show. And we'll go from there. But let us know what you guys think about our top 5 defenses in the NFL.